It's just past midnight as Flight 721 touches down, its wheels kissing the tarmac under the glow of the runway lights. Another routine landing, another group of tired travelers ready to head home. The ground crew moves in, efficient and practiced, preparing the aircraft for its next journey. But tonight, something is off. As the cabin is being cleaned, a crew member radios in, Seat 13A. The manifest says it was occupied by a man named Elias Vance. But the seat is empty. Not just empty, but pristine, as if no one had sat there at all. This isn't just a simple no-show. A no-show wouldn't have been checked in. The airline system is adamant. Elias Vance boarded this flight. His ticket was scanned. His name was on the final passenger list. Yet, he's vanished somewhere between the gate and the arrival terminal. Airport security is immediately alerted. An anomaly like this triggers a cascade of protocols. Every possibility is on the table, and none of them are good. The first step is to review the security footage. The investigators gather in a small, sterile room, eyes glued to the monitors. They rewind the hours, watching the bustling terminal. There he is, a man matching Elias Vance's description, nervously clutching a carry-on. His face pale under the fluorescent lights. They watch him go through security, wait at the gate, and then, they see him scan his boarding pass and walk down the jet bridge. He officially boarded the plane. But the cabin cameras tell a different story. They show every passenger finding their seat, stowing their luggage, and settling in. Every passenger, that is, except the man in 13A. The seat remains vacant from takeoff to landing. How can a man walk onto a plane and simply cease to exist? The logs are double-checked, then triple-checked. No errors. The flight attendants are questioned. They're certain the seat was empty. The passengers seated nearby confirm it. It's a paradox, a digital ghost in the airline's system. The initial confusion quickly hardens into serious concern. The search escalates. The plane, now cordoned off on a remote part of the tarmac, becomes a crime scene. A specialized team is brought in. They start with the cabin, meticulously examining every inch. They check the lavatories, the overhead compartments, even the galley storage. Nothing. It's as if Elias Vance was a phantom. But phantoms don't have boarding passes. The lead investigator, a veteran with years of experience, feels a growing sense of dread. He knows that the simplest answers are often the most likely, but in this case, none of the simple answers make sense. His attention turns to the exterior of the aircraft and its non-passenger areas. The cargo hold. It's a long shot, but they've exhausted every other option. The massive cargo door groans open, revealing a cavernous space filled with luggage, mail, and freight. The air inside is frigid, a stark reminder of the sub-zero temperatures at cruising altitude. The team fans out, their flashlights cutting sharp beams through the darkness. They move between stacks of suitcases and secured containers. Then, a sharp intake of breath over the radio. "I've got something here." Tucked away behind a large shipping crate, almost completely hidden from view, is a pile of blankets. And beneath them, a human form. It's him, Elias Vance. He's frozen solid, his face a mask of peaceful tragedy. The scene is both grim and perplexing. How did he get into the cargo hold? And why? This wasn't a simple case of a passenger getting lost. This was something else entirely. The investigators begin to piece together the puzzle, and the story that emerges is more heartbreaking than they could have imagined. They discover that the large shipping crate he was hiding behind belonged to a cargo company. A little more digging reveals that Elias Vance was an employee at that very company, working as a baggage handler at this exact airport. His life was falling apart. He was buried in debt, facing eviction, and desperate to get to another city where his estranged family lived, hoping for a reconciliation, a fresh start. He couldn't afford a ticket, so he devised a plan. A risky, foolish plan. Using his employee access and knowledge of the airport's operations, he managed to bypass security screenings for the cargo area. His plan was to sneak into the cargo hold of Flight 721 just before takeoff, using his own checked-in luggage as a marker. He would hide among the bags and, upon arrival, slip out unnoticed during the unloading process. To the airline, he would be a passenger who simply walked off the plane. He even checked in normally, creating the perfect digital alibi to avoid raising suspicion if his empty seat was noted. His plan had a fatal flaw. He severely underestimated the conditions in the cargo hold of a commercial airliner at 35,000 feet. While the hold is pressurized, it is not temperature controlled like the main cabin. As the plane ascended, the temperature plummeted to a deadly 50 degrees below zero. He brought blankets, thinking they would be enough. They weren't. Trapped in the dark, surrounded by the roar of the engines, Elias Vance slowly and quietly succumbed to hypothermia. He never stood a chance. The signs of a forced entry they initially thought they'd found weren't from someone breaking in, but from Elias himself trying to secure his hiding spot. The mystery of the vanishing passenger was solved. It wasn't a kidnapping or a security breach in the traditional sense. It was a story of pure desperation. A man who felt he had no other options, who took a 1-in-a-million gamble and lost everything. The empty seat in 13A wasn't a glitch in the system. It was a silent testament to a tragedy unfolding just a few feet below the unsuspecting passengers. A chilling reminder of how a single, desperate decision can lead to a fatal, irreversible end. The case was closed, leaving behind only the profound sadness of a life lost to a hopeless plan. Thanks for watching. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more true stories and mysteries. We'll see you in the next one.